G'day and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we're going to learn how to make this really adorable bag. We are going to be following along with a pattern, so you will learn to read a pattern if you don't already know. So I've just stuffed it with plastic bags, but as you can see there's plenty of room in there for all your important pieces. So let's get started on the lesson. A huge thank you and big shout out to Crochet Dreams blog and website for allowing me to make this video for you. I've got full permission to make this free pattern, so make sure you check out the links below and go and print off your free pattern. So let's get started on the lesson. So first of all, you're going to want to print off the pattern. I think there are about 12 pages to this pattern, but it may seem a lot, but there are lots of detailed instructions, which is really good. So go and print this off. I'll put the link in the description box below the video here for you to go and print off your copy. And in the pattern it says to use worsted weight yarn. Now I'm excited because I get to use this. I'm going to use cotton for this. In the pattern they used Vanna's Choice and you need 3 skeins. Now I don't have 3 skeins of Vanna's Choice, so I'm going to use this. It also tells you how much you need as well, which I'm going to go through in a second. So I'm going to use 2 colours so that it is good for you to see in the video. And might I just add, these bowls are huge. They are, it says somewhere how many grams they were. 400 grams. Now you Aussies that are watching this, you'll understand how much 400 grams is. It's huge. It's nice too. So I'm going to use this. We've got green and it's called Mod Green. And the pink one is called Mod Pink. Well, there you go. So I got these from their website because I can't buy these here in Australia. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use green for the main section of the bag. And I'm going to use pink for the frills that we get on the bag too. So just hang on one second. I'm also using a 5mm hook. That's not really focusing, is it? There we go. 5mm. Which is a H, and this hook was supplied by Moon Shadow Threads. Oh look, it matches my yarn. And isn't these cute little owls? So I'll put the link in where you can find these hooks as well. So going back to the pattern, it says Page 1, Bella Ruffled Bag. Bella Ruffled Bag is a free crochet pattern. Here's a little picture to show you what it looks like. So materials, you want worsted weight yarn or medium size 4. So that's what I've got. Or it's known as Afghan or Aran yarn. Now if you're an Aussie, you can use 12 ply or 10 ply. That will give you the similar thickness of the worsted weight. Of course you can use any yarn you like, it's just going to come out a different size. So if you're using a thinner yarn than worsted, so 8 ply or sports weight, or double knit for the UK people, it's going to come out a bit smaller. So hooks, we need a size H, 5mm, and a G, which is a 4.25. Aussies, you can use a 4mm if you haven't got that 4.25. So we're going to need about 510 yards of yarn. Now, these huge ginormous balls, somewhere, sorry guys, I'm just trying to find it off camera. It told me how much there was. With 655 meters, whoa, in the 400 gram ball, so that's plenty for me. So as long as you've got 510 yards, and they've used 3 skeins of Vanna's Choice. So your gauge, for me gauges isn't important on this project because it's a bag and I'm not worried what size it turns out. In the next bit it tells you how big it's going to turn out. But if you want your gauge, you're going to use a H hook, 14 stitches, and do 9 half double crochet rows, and that'll give you 4 inches. Excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat. So the size, if we use all the bits and pieces it's told us to use, it's going to be 13 inches wide at the base, 9 inches tall including the handle, and it's going to be the size of an oversized clutch. So pattern abbreviations, it's all in American terms, and US to UK conversion chart can be found online. So the stitches we're going to use are single crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet and double crochet. And also the chain stitch. So stitch explanation, that's the word. You've got a half double crochet 2 together, and then you've got half double crochet 2 together and twice. So I'll explain that when we get to that part. So it's got here, note the pictures are given at the top of each section. Please work from the written pattern and look up the pictures for reference when mentioned in the written pattern. So we've got lots of reference pictures here. And this is why there's so many pages, because it's got these great pictures to help us along with the pattern. And my page is upside down. There we go. So lots more pictures. I looked at this pattern before I turned the camera on, so it looks like it's all mixed up. There we go. Shows you how to add the frill. And we're going to use those for references as we go around. There we go, so that's where that should be. So we're going to be working on the pattern for the body of the bag and the ruffles. It says, note, this bag is worked from bottom up and you keep adding ruffles as you go. The ruffles are separate with a separate skein of yarn. So that's why it's saying to use 3 balls. So you're going to have one working the main one, and then the other one is going to work your frills, and then the third one is obviously when you run out of one of your balls. Now I'm going to work green for the main part of the bag, and the pink I'm going to use for the ruffles. So what we need to do first is chain 45. So grabbing your yarn, oh yay, these balls are centre pull, which is great. I can't stand it when they aren't. It's extremely annoying. Okay, so grabbing your hook and your yarn, making a slip knot. This is the way I do it. There's many ways to do slip knot. I'm wrapping it twice, grabbing the left and pulling off, wrapping again, grabbing the left and pulling off. Like I said, there's plenty of different ways to do that. I reckon there'd be at least 20 different ways, probably more like 50. So what we're going to do is chain 45. Now if you don't know how to do a chain stitch, watch this part. If you do, just continue on. You're going to be wrapping your hook around your yarn and pulling through the stitch that's on the hook. So yarning over and pulling through, wrapping and pulling through. Now if you need to learn that, there are videos on here on YouTube to teach you. So you're going to chain 45 and then I'm going to meet up with you. So I have my 45 chains, and I also forgot to mention at the beginning that I've got full permission to make this pattern from Crochet Dreams, so please check out her blog, excellent blog and website, great patterns there. And this is a free pattern, so you can go and download that for free. You can just print it off like I have. So after it says to chain 45, and what I'm going to do is just read along with the pattern as we go. It says round 1, 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So do not count the one that's on your hook. This is the first one and this is the second one. So we want to single crochet into the second chain. And it says 1 single crochet in each chain across. I think we can handle that. So into our next chain, we're going to single crochet. Now this first row is always hard to hold on to because it's so thin. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background, but it's a beautiful day here today. So we're just working along into each chain. And we're going to do this all the way until we get to the end. So I'll catch up with you there. And now it says work 3 single crochets in the last chain. Now if you've already done one, because you work right to the end, that's fine because that's your first stitch. So you're going to single crochet in there. It says to do 3, so in that same space, same chain space, or chain stitch, you're going to work 3, so that's 2 and 3. Pivot to work along the opposite side of the foundation chain as shown in picture 1. So I'm going to grab the pattern, find picture 1. Picture 1, work along the opposite side of foundation chain as shown. So we've just come along, we're going to pivot and we're going to go and work along the other side there. So what we're doing is we've worked our 3 in the end, we've just worked along this side and we're going to pivot it so we're working along the other side. So we just came along here, you're going to turn it around and we're going to work down the bottom. So it's actually the top now, but it was the bottom because it was like that, the bottom here. We're going to be working along there. And it says 1 single crochet in each of the gaps between the single crochet stitches until the end, as shown in picture 2. So picture 2, can't really see it, my printer hasn't printed it out very well, but we're going in between the spaces, not into the chain. And I'm really glad it's worked like this because when you work into the chain, it'll create these big holes, and I think they look ugly. But by working in between the spaces, between the stitches, you don't get the holes at all. So what we're going to do is find our first stitch. So these are the 3 stitches we did in the last one, so it's not those. So we're going to find our first stitch. There's one here and one here. We're going to work in the space between the single crochets, so not up here in the chain, in between the single crochets. So work a single crochet, you're going to find the next space, so here's a single crochet there and there, you're going to go between the stitches. So there's a single crochet there, single crochet there, the gap between them. Hope you can see this. Because the stitches are quite small, it's hard to see. So see there's a gap there because there's a single crochet here and a single crochet there, and then there's a gap just here. That's where you're working. And we're going to do this all the way until the end, and then we're going to slip stitch to the beginning, but I'll show you that when we get there. So work your single crochets like that all the way across till the end. So now it says to join to the beginning chain 1. So my chain 1's here, and I'm going to join my, there we go. Then it says we're going to turn, and just make sure you've got your 90 stitches. I have counted mine, so I know I've got my 90 stitches. It says a long oval is formed after round 1 as shown in picture 3 above. So as you can see in picture 3, if you have a look on your pattern, that is exactly what it looks like. So 2 and 3, at rounds 2 and 3, we're going to chain 2, and does not count as a stitch here and throughout. 1 half double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. So that's what we're going to do now. So we need to chain 2, 1 and 2. Then we are going to do 1 half double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. So yarning over, going back into the same stitch where the chain 2's come out of. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Then it says 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, slip stitch to the top of the chain 1. It's to the top of the first half double crochet, sorry. So what we're going to do is work all the way around, working a half double crochet in every stitch. So wrap your yarn, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. So I will continue on and meet up with you when we get to the end of the row. So I'm coming to the end of row 2, and row 2 and 3 are exactly the same. So what we need to do is slip stitch to the end, or is it the beginning? It's actually the beginning. So I've just put my hook through. Show you that again. Hook through and slip stitch, and we turn because we're turning these rows. So we, instead of going that way, we're going to work the other way. So we need to repeat row 2 again because row 2 and 3 are the same. So it's chain 2. It does not count as a stitch, and then half double crochet into the same stitch. Oops, half double crochet, so you wrap your yarn. This is coming up sort of aqua blue, but it's actually a green, like a apple green colour. So then we half double crochet in every stitch around. So continue on until we get back to here. So this is what mine's looking like. It's going to be up in the corners because you're starting to work up the sides of the bag now. So it says, I can hear a frog. It says, no, as long as you are making the correct number of decreases in each round, you may not really have to count the stitches at the end of each round. The body of the bag tapers upwards. So it says mark 9 stitches symmetrically in each corner, shown in picture 5 and 6. The decreases are worked near the stitch markers. So let's just find picture 5 and 6. There we go. So we're going to mark the stitches here. So we need to do 9 stitches. So my stitch markers are just little bobby pins or hair pins. So we'll start at the other end first. And what we're going to do is mark 9 stitches. So what you need to do is just fold it in half. And the stitch that is here, good timing, frog. Jeez. So you're going to count back 4. So there's the middle one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your stitch marker in there. Go back to that end stitch and count back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should have 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So we're going to do the same on the other end. Our end stitch, when we fold in half, so the end stitch is, then we're going to count back 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Come on, there we go. And then 1, 2, 3 and 4. So including the end one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So that section's done. Round 4. See pics 5 and 6 above to see where the decreases are made. So that was that same picture we looked at before. Chain 2, 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. Right, so grab your hook and your work. I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to make a 1/2 double crochet in the same stitch. One 1/2 double crochet in each stitch until one stitch is left before the marker. So we're going to crochet around and we're going to leave one stitch before. So 1/2 double crochet until we get to there. So we've got one stitch before. 1/2 double crochet 2 together, ending in the marked stitch. So how we work that is yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to leave the 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over again and then go into the next stitch. So yarning over, going into the next stitch. So this is going to be your one with the stitch marker in it. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all loops. That is a 1/2 double crochet 2 together. Then we want to do 1/2 double crochet in each stitch until the next stitch marker on the other end. So we're going to work down and we're going to work along our side bit until we get to here. So we're going to do half double crochet, was it? Yes, half double crochet, wrapping your yarn until we get to our next stitch marker. So I've worked up to my stitch marker, I've worked in that stitch, and it says half double crochet starting from the marked stitch. Sorry, half double crochet two together starting from that stitch. So you're going to yarn over, go into the stitch with the marker in it, yarn over, pull up a loop. You're going to leave that loop on the hook, you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5. There we go. Preferably in one motion, but got a bit stuck there. Okay, so we've done that one. And it says 1 half double crochet in each stitch until you have 1 stitch left before the stitch marker. So we're going to work around. I'm going to keep the camera running for this section until 1 stitch before. So it's just half double crochet in each stitch. Until 1 stitch before. So there's my marked stitch here. And it's not through both loops. It stands out better if I do it like that. There we go. Mark that stitch. So 1 stitch before. And we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together, ending in the marked stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, so it's the stitch before the marker, pull up a loop, you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over, go into the marked stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, you have 5 on your hook, yarn over and pull through all stitches. Now it says 1 half double crochet in each stitch till the next marker on the other end. So we're going to half double crochet. This is going to be going down the long section of our piece of work until we get to our stitch marker down here. So continue on across and I'll meet up with you. Okay, so it said continue on until the stitch marker, so that last one before we can do. And then it says 1 half double crochet 2 together starting from the marked stitch. So starting from here, we're going to yarn over, go into the marked stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, keep the 3 on the hook, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through all stitches. And then it says 1 half double crochet in the remaining stitches of the round, slip stitch to the first half double crochet of the round, and then we're going to turn. So you'll have a few left over. You're going to work those remaining stitches, slip stitch to the half double crochet, which is up the top there, and then we're going to turn our work. So instead of working around that way, we're working around this way. And it says you've made 4 decreases in that round and you'll have 86 stitches. So now what we want to do is mark 11 stitches symmetrically in each corner before the next round. Just like you did for round 4, you'll be working 2 half double crochets together near each marker. So we want to do 11 stitches. So grabbing your stitch markers out. Now you could have taken them out as you go around, but I'm sure that doesn't matter. So now we want to do 11. I can't even say that word properly, God. You know, 2 ones, 11. Do 11 stitches, so we need to, the one on the end, count back 10, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wait, no, we need 11, don't we? So we need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry guys. 5 stitches. And not counting one on the end, do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count your stitches that you've marked. So including the one you've marked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And number 11 is the one that you've marked. So it's only 5 here, sorry, not 11. Because that'll give you 22 stitches. Something like that. So we're going to do the same thing. Counting from the one on the end, which is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, I did that wrong. So just double check it, of course. Might be easy if I look at it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Done. Okay, so now we're on to round 5. So round 5, it says chain 2 and 1 half double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 2. So chain 2, half double crochet into the same stitch. Oops. Making sure it is the same stitch. That is the right spot, sorry. Half double crochet. 1 half double crochet until 3 stitches are left before the marker. So here's our marker, 1, 2, 3. So we need to half double crochet in any other stitches that you have. Now if you're 1 or 2 stitches out, this pattern isn't really going to matter. If it's only 1 stitch, it's definitely not going to matter. So 3 stitches. So now it says half double crochet 2 together twice, ending in the marked stitch. So what we're going to do is do a half double crochet 2 together. This is also called a half double crochet decrease. So yarning over, going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop. You'll put 3 on your hook, leaving those 3, yarning over, going into the next stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, and yarning over. You've got 5 on your hook, so yarn over and pull through all 5. We're going to work that again in the next stitch. So in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3, yarn over, go into the marked stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 5, yarning over, pull through all loops. And it says 1 half double crochet in each stitch till the next marked stitch on the other end. So now we are working down the straight edge until we get to this stitch marker. So I'll catch up with you there. So 1 half double crochet in each of those stitches. Okay, so working up to our marked stitch, I'm just working my last half double crochet there. We're going to work excuse me, half double crochet 2 together twice, starting from the mark stitch. So here's our mark stitch. We're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3. Keep those on, go into the next stitch. We've yarned over, go into the next stitch. You've got 5 and pull through. I'm doing these a little quicker because you've already worked quite a few of these stitches, so you should know it by now. And then we need to do it twice, so the next 2 stitches we're going to work the same thing. So yarning over, going into the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarning over, going into the next stitch, pulling up a loop. You've got 5 on your hook, yarning over, pull through all 3. 1 half double crochet until you have 3 stitches left before the next marker. So it's only just around the corner here, so we're going to continue on until we've got 3 stitches left before that stitch marker. So it shouldn't be very many at all. So here's my stitch marker, 1, 2 and 3, and we want to work half double crochet 2 together twice, ending in the marked stitch. So we're working those decreases again. So yarning over, going into the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarning over, going into the next stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pull through all stitches. Work another one over the next 2 stitches. And there we go. So 1 half double crochet in each stitch until the next stitch marker on the other end. So we are going to work down until we get to the next stitch marker.